Welcome back to Nerdmation. I'm your boy Snake.
Nerdmation. I'm your boy Mingo D.
And Hammer is here, but he's not here. He lost connection with us because he was in here with us before I pushed live, and then he vanished. He said he was driving. So he probably just lost some signal. So he might jump back in here every now and there and say, you know what I'm saying?
Ninja vanished. I ain't do it. That's not totally ninja. That's ninja.
Just getting this pulled up. Put that right there. Okay. So. Alright, if I can get my thing to work. It's a common, every guy has the issues. Alright. So, got some things to talk about. Not too much, but some of it is pretty cool things to talk about and get in depth and conversate about. A couple of them, just real quick. First things up, Mingo has a problem with it, but I'm talking about it because it's a show. I guess he'll talk more about it in detail. Since I'm just gonna do mine's just a real quick recap on this story. But anyway, it's more about the Powerpuff Girls live action. Basically, they're still planning to move forward with it, but they are redoing and reshooting, basically going in a different direction from what prior they were wanting. And I guess were you gonna talk?
Go ahead.
Talk about it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll just to put this out there. You got a spoiler for somebody leaving the show. Guess who it's gonna be? Mingo D will tell you on Monday. Dun, dun,
You
dun.
can just tell, or you can just tell them now. It's fine.
Or you can tell them now because you want to talk about it. Let's go.
Alright, so Chloe Bennett is leaving the show. Now, yeah, she's leaving the show. She will not be playing Blossom. So now they're in a rush to switch things around and change things up as usual. So me personally, I think they should just scrap the show, but I think they see money in the cash cow in it, probably because of the other two. One's a Disney star and the other, I'm not really sure where she's come from. So they're probably thinking they can make money with them. So there you go.
I think that they could possibly pull it off, but not the way that they were trying to go with it, with the disgruntled teens and blah blah blah. Like that, no. I don't. Like I think it would be cool if they started it out where they're teenagers or something, right? And they're like starting out the show, they're all like getting ready for school or something. Almost like Stargirl. Have you ever seen? Did you watch any Stargirl on Super? How she's a teenager going through school and she's got forming a JSA and stuff like that. Well, similar to that, right? But they're going through, and they are the Powerpuff Girls, right? But the cartoon version is a real cartoon based off of them in their world. So, because from them being popular and everything, being superheroes, they got made into cartoons in their world. You know what I'm saying? So while they're getting dressed and ready, they have a cartoon playing in the kitchen or something, and it's their cartoons are like, oh, I'm getting tired of this or something like that. Like they didn't catch our image at all, or something like that. Like if they made fun of it as they but they have powers in the real world, then they wouldn't be held accountable to the no fingers and big eyes and all that shit. So they could pull it off and make it into a real world with the cartoon just being kind of like how in Marvel, in the cinematic universe, or Superman, like they had, like, for instance, I'm getting off track here because I keep jumping to different related things, like Superman, Lois and Clark, the Superman and Lois, the new CW, in their kids and stuff are actually playing Injustice, the video game. They're actually playing the video game in the thing, and I was like, how did they think of? I asked Dave, like, what do they think about this this game? Like the storyline in this game, and their dad is Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's a dark storyline, and they're playing it. They're fighting, but so something similar to that. I think they could probably pull it off. But anyway, that was just a quick.
We'll see.
Quick thing about that. I kind of am with you to think they should just scrap it and not even try, because I feel like they will get disappointed. I don't know if he's still watching, but Bernard's popped in. What up, bro?
The Scroggins.
Scroggins. Be cool if we can get all of them in here. And probably one of those, like, they click on the video and they click off the video.
Yeah.
From Facebook. Click. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Next up. So, came across this. I talked about this a while back. Netflix's Magic the Gathering anime. So they have a new team taking over for this. It's a new creative team following the Russo brothers. So the Russo brothers are leaving. The reason they left is basically because they were having issues on basically coming to terms. Like, how do they put it? They're dang it. Basically, they had they're leaving on good terms because they had a they couldn't see eye to eye on what their direction. They kept having I just read this, man. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have it. It was they had issues on basically pinpointing on what direction they wanted to take it. Pretty much. That's what the gist of it was. Like, it wasn't anything bad. It wasn't, it wasn't nobody got in trouble with the law or anything. Like, it's just they were having issues on, like, basically picking how they wanted to go about making this CG animated series adaptation work. So, no. Get in. Sorry. But they're getting taken over. Is going to be now produced by Jeff Klein and Steve Melching. So Jeff Klein is his previous production credits include Dragon Tales, G.I. Joe, Renegades, Jackie Chan Adventures, and several entries in the Transformers franchise. Steve Melchin is a Star Wars Clone Wars executive producer and story editor. So then they have some other art directors and story writers. Snowball Studios, which did Muppet Babies, Barbie, Dreamtopia, Star Darlings. So everybody that's that are getting their foot in the door on this have had prior animated workings. So they should be able to pull this off pretty well. So I kind of wish that the Russo brothers still would have done it, but I'm not mad at who took over, so I think it'll be good. So I just wanted to talk about that because I did talk about that before in another episode. Next up, so if you could say 3 words to Thor to make him unworthy, what would they be? What would you think 3 words would be to take Thor, basically to make Thor unworthy of wielding Mjolnir? 3 words.
I killed. No. You're unworthy. No, you are unworthy. That's no. That's so basic. It's so stupid. No. I hate you. Boom. There it is.
So this actually happened in this. Basically, it's a series. It's called Thor, the Unworthy, or The Unworthy Thor is what it's called. So in the this series, basically there's like an evil Nick Fury, and basically, long story short, the Watcher died, and I think it was the Watcher was found murdered with his eyes removed, and basically the evil Nick Fury took the eyes for himself, and with that newfound power of knowing stuff, basically figured out like he could take down like pretty much anybody because he knows things about them, or see like the secret, the all-seeing eye type thing that he can see and get to the root problem of like how to take stuff, and that's basically what he did to Thor. He literally just whispered 3 little words in his ear and made him unworthy to wield Mjolnir. Those 3 words were Goro was right, or Guru. I don't know how to say his name. And if you're seeing it on the screen, it's a picture of the comics. He whispered in his ear. You don't see it clearly in the thing, but then in the next panel he says, "What didst thou say?" He just goes nuts. So, Gore, Gorr, Gore. Anyway, he's the God Butcher, pretty much. He is actually in the MCU. He looks similar to Thou That Shall Not Be Named, Voldemort. Basically, the way Voldemort looks, his face, like no nose and stuff, it literally looks like Voldemort. But anyway, he is he's considered the God Butcher. He hates all gods, and it's one of those that he pleaded for gods to help, and to no avail. And then when finally he came across one, they were stuck in some kind of black goo substance. He basically killed the god, and it was in the goo. Somehow, some way, the substance like merged with him. He was able to make the Necro sword out of the goo.
Ah,
Yeah.
There it is.
So, he's the one going around and basically killing gods. Anyway, so Gore basically feels like that, like the gods are, pretty much just, they're more harmful than they are, helpful. Yeah, pretty much. And basically that's why he's going around. He feels like they're just, they're not perfect beings. Like they act like they're like they're above everybody. But so anyway, whenever basically Gore fought, has been throughout the different versions, like series, Thor and Gore kind of come into contact quite a bit. And there's at one point in time, there's like 3 different versions of Thor had to take him down. But anyway, with Nick Fury finding out about basically what Gore and Thor's relationship, and what Gore feels about the gods, and Thor knows what Gore thought about the gods, which Thor, how he is, like Thor is kind of the exactly what Gore kind of thinks, like he's not a perfect guy, he fucks up, and by him saying that Gore was right, basically made Thor like downplay himself, so he made himself unworthy, because he basically he determines his own worthiness. And whenever he heard those 3 words, he basically felt like he was unworthy to wield the title of Thor. And that's what this comic book kind of goes down. Basically, I guess to get deep into it, it's more of it's a thing about accepting yourself and knowing your worth type.
Knowing your worth, powerful.
But I think it was dope because just like out of, like, no matter like all the things that he's done, Thor, all Thor's power in 3 words, take him out. So
yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like comics because there's so many different storylines, so many different stories that people come up with. Now, whether they're canon or canonized, that's a whole nother road to go down. But I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's dope. 3 words took a god down. So
it took him down.
But
I kind of wonder, because you say, "Oh, dude, Gore." This is like, it's not off topic, but it's a little. His sword. I kind of want someone to put his sword with the dude Black Knight, his sword, and then the god of the symbiotes, his sword. I think the Black Knight sword is the same. No, but all 3 of them.
No, the symbiote sword.
But it's the same as Black Knight sword. Okay, never mind.
But
I want to see what those 2.
Gore's sword.
Okay, no, okay. It's Gore's the same sword.
It is the same as the god of the symbiotes. The black substance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's the same sword as the Black Knight sword.
Which brings me to...
Which he gets to that sword, so.
Also, the Gore is going to be in the movie Love and Thunder.
Really?
So Gore is set up to be in the movie, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with director for the Love and Thunder, where he is reportedly set to be portrayed by Christian Bale.
Okay. You know what? I thought about that. I remember Christian Bale wasn't. He's one of those other people that Kevin Feige was talking to, and everybody was like, "What is he going to do?" And then just stopped talking about him for a while.
Yeah, that's what I heard that Christian Bale was going to be in it, but nobody knew what he was going to be, who he was playing, and now this confirms it. And then of course, Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson.
Has Gore ever been in a cartoon?
Yes.
I don't think he's ever been. Oh, yes? Yeah. Okay, was his voice like raspy? I know that's a Batman. That's a horrible Batman joke for Christian Bale, but
I don't remember.
I mean, it's not like Christian Bale can't do any other voices, but that's the one that everybody makes fun of him for. I'm Batman. He was just over the top with it. But sorry, I just kind of wanted to know.
He couldn't move his mouth.
Yeah.
The mask was like pushing his face, so he had to sound like this. Where are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. So, of course, Natalie Portman is going to make a return in it, and she's going to be wielding Mjolnir. So I'm assuming that that's what they're going to do with why, Natalie Portman is going to be holding Mjolnir. Maybe Gore comes in and made Thor unworthy by saying those words. I don't know, because it is say if the movie storyline adheres to the comics that with Jane's return to Thor, Jane's turn as Thor, it may not be long before Gore utters the 3 words and makes Odin's son unworthy in live action. So I don't know. We'll see. See if they do. So you're here first. If they say
that was pretty ingenious. That's how they did that. That was good. That was ingenious. That was pretty good. They used the comic to promote the movie and vice versa. Smart. So now the comics is selling, and then the movie's going to say, "That's smart. Good job."
So I don't know if they if it's going to be CGI. There's a comment on Facebook. I was wondering if Gore is going to be CGI, which probably. I mean, like have Christian Bale in the suit with his face out or whatever, like or have some makeup on him or something. I mean, that's what they do in all the Marvel, like Iron Man. Like if you've seen the back images, like Iron Man's not in a suit. He's just wearing like this jumpsuit that has like lights on him, like lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is rarely in a regular Spider-Man suit. Like all of them wear different green suit type things for motion capture.
I know. Robert Downey. He at one point he had
just the chest piece.
just because I think they were trying to do something special with it. But they'll like have different pieces. Like he might have half a helmet or half of this, whatever, just so they can make the little thing. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, it makes sense because after you hear what happened with all the other stuff, other than the original Ninja Turtles, which you really don't hear anything bad. I mean, at least I haven't heard anything bad about those costumes as far as like the dudes being really upset about it. Everything else, you hear people like with Batman and other things like the costume is either you can't move or something's this, so you have to stay still, or it's too hot, or something like anything like that. So now I understand they just have to put half of it on and then CGI the rest or whatever.
The suits back in the day, like they were amazing. Like the Ninja Turtle movie, seeing them, like they looked like real turtles almost. Like The skin, it looked real, like, and those are just to be suits, was amazing. I mean, granted, they had lots of pieces to those suits because they wore out.
Probably took forever.
No, they said they wore out per shot.
Wow.
Yeah, they would take a scene, and like their arms and the legs and stuff like that would like fall apart. Like they looked good, but they fell apart really easy. They broke, so they had tons of pieces of it on backup.
Makes sense.
So
the dude doing flips and kicking somebody, then poof.
It was like a behind the scenes thing. Like I think
funny.
I think they said they had a lot of clips where if they had to keep redoing because like when they doing those flips and kicks and stuff, like parts were flying off. So it was a pretty cool documentary if y'all can find it. What else was I was going to say? I don't know if anybody's watched it, but it's called The Guyver. The Guyver Unit. It's based on an anime, and they made it live action. They got 2 movies. It's The Guyver Unit, or it's The Guyver and The Guyver 2.
And the dude who played it is... That was your cue.
Well, I wanted to see if you knew who.
No, I know it was David. That's what you saying.
Who?
It's David. David.
Who?
Here.
Hey, y'all can't see it, but it's on my wall back there. Anyway, he was in the second one, and it was basically the voice of the Guyver, or the Guyver 2. The actual character was the voice of Solid Snake. It was so there. Well, the reason I'm bringing up the Guyver is the suits and the monsters that are in there like look amazing. For that time, for the time back then, and everything that they did, as far as like fighting and stuff, like the suits just looked amazing. Like it does not look like a suit. It literally looks like an alien bodysuit and alien creatures. Like if you get a chance, go watch it. I love watching those movies. I will pop it in at any time and watch it again. Mainly
he's pretty much saying that he has. Pretty much, he's saying he has those old machines that play things that aren't digital. DVDs. So just letting you guys.
They're DVDs.
Just letting you guys know.
I can watch.
They might not. They might not know what those are. They might not know what
VHS. Like these other things over here. Like, hold up. Let me show you this.
There's no way.
Bet y'all don't have this one in your house. Huh. Watcha.
That's the old Power Ranger movie.
On VHS.
It's the second one, I think.
VHS. This is the original, bro. Don't you dare say second one.
Avenues.
Be kind, rewind. Y'all don't know nothing about that phrase. Anyway. Enough of the down memory lane. But yeah, so and they didn't even. I showed that. I can only pretty much just showing it to you because they didn't see it. It's on so little on the screen. But anyway, so yeah, I'm look forward to Christian Bale coming into the Love and Thunder, which that's gonna be a while. I don't think they're slated till 2023. I think, or 23, 24. I know it ain't 22. I don't know. I think it's 23 though. I could be wrong, but that's not my department, right, Mingo? Yeah, sir.
Sir.
All right. So, Shaman King, Mingo. Apparently,
Yeah.
there are some people that are upset with the way the Shaman King, the new Shaman King on Netflix, see the season 1 ended. A lot of people.
Oh, hi, ending. I ain't
Yeah.
see the ending.
Well, the only reason people are upset about this is because of how it ended was not the same way it ended in the anime back in 2001.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way
So
this reboot follows the manga.
there it is.
The anime that came out on 2001 did not go with the manga. I mean, it did and it didn't. It kind of did its own thing in here and there. So the main thing that people are upset about is what's her name? They say it's the reboot made some regressive mistake. The manga did with the death of a female character. That's what it said in this review.
Oh boy.
A regressive mistake. Like, how? Because it's going with the, like, basically where I didn't even have to read this article to know that the person that is writing this only watched the anime. Bet you they didn't read the manga at all. They basically, people that argue about this is ones that watch the anime first, then come across it, or whenever this one came across, they watched this and they're like, wait, that didn't happen. Then they found out it would happen in the manga, and they're like, and then now they're all pissed because, oh well, they didn't do it right. No, the mangas are always the first and source material that come to the animes. So basically what they're upset about is the woman that dies. I'm not going to give out names. I'm going to try to keep it spoiler free. Somebody dies at the end, somebody. But anyway, they did not die in the first one. And apparently there's not too many. I haven't watched this season yet, so I'm in Domingo's boat. But apparently there's not too many female characters or main characters in the Shaman King. So by killing her off, they feel like her and her powers would be beneficial to help to continue the story, and which they feel like that she didn't, by her dying so soon in the first season, at the end of the first season, that she had more use that she could have used in the continuation of the show. Basically, that's what people are upset about, because they're killing her off.
Okay, so what I have to say to that is this is the same type of argument people had with Naruto or with Dragon Ball or anything else, when they just jump in either late or they see something and they don't know the source material, then they like, well, how come Bulma didn't have, or how come this and that? And it's like, because they weren't supposed to. Why? You guys have to follow it. And then on top of that, people have to understand that there's 4 kids. I'm sorry, but everybody knows 4 kids wasn't the best anime like adaptation person. They weren't Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Crunchyroll is good when they bring anime over, when they do stuff. 4 kids were little girls. They were like, you know what? We don't want to, like, look at Yu-Gi-Oh! They were scared to put a gun on TV, so they had you pointing fingers. That's the stuff they did. So the reason why the girl didn't die in the regular ones, because they were scared they was going to mess up kids, even though we had Batman the animated series. So clearly we were okay, but I'm sorry, just people are really doing this stupid.
That's what I forgot 4 kids were the ones that did that back then. I forgot they were the ones that put that out, and they do their editing like that. They edit out blood, they edit out any violence at all, and that's why they made that change to keep her alive. I forgot that 4Kids did that. So as soon as you said 4Kids, it's like click. That's what it was. So I feel like this shouldn't even been a article. Like I feel like y'all are. This is what y'all are writing. Like how about you tell season 1's over? Oh, cool. Let's like this is what you come out with an article like. Like you have nothing else to talk about. But you're talking about the people are like. I don't feel like this should be a conversation to be having. Like, even though I chose this to have a conversation about.
And then I'm like, have you seen Attack on Titan? I mean, come on, man. Like now, like in anime, people die. People die. It don't matter who it is, girls, guys. They can kill off the entire cast. Or come and go kill. So I mean, like it's.
Oh man. Now I do have a valid argument against animes that don't do what was in the manga. Like whenever I found like this what I found out whenever I found this out as was after is this Dragon Ball I'm talking about Dragon Ball, that when in Dragon Ball Super after the tournament, I watched the tournament arc. Then I read it in the manga and found out that they didn't do nothing that would happen in the manga. I was so perplexed. I'm like, wait, what? Why didn't they do that? Like, what happened in the manga would have been way more entertaining for them to animate it. I hope somebody comes through and does like a reboot of the Super and animates what happened in the manga into the show, cause that would be dope. Like they actually pay tribute to Gohan's power in the manga. Like why it's like they're completely just throwing him under the bus every chance they get. Like bro, like if you go back to like literally what you think you know about the tournament power did not happen.
You don't know.
Like nothing. Literally the surfing Kamehameha did not happen. Did not happen in the manga. I like it. I do. Don't get me wrong. The surfing Kamehameha was epic. But
now see, this is how I would have did it. If they just had to put the Serpent Kamehameha in it, they could have had Gohan. They could have took the manga, had Gohan getting beat up or whatever, and then he's thinking, then he flashes back to a scene where he's fighting with his dad, and his dad shows him the Serpent Kamehameha, and he's like, oh, he uses it. That was still, it would have been like an add-on that was like a cherry on the top.
No.
They didn't even do it.
No, I didn't even want that because
I didn't even want that.
I don't even want because I want them like give me the Surfing Kamehameha because Surfing Kamehameha was dope, but like I do want Gohan to do. I would have liked Gohan to do it, in his because he was the one that defeated Kefla in the tournament power by himself. Go in his ultimate form. No transformations. He took on a fused warrior by himself. Now, if he would have done the Surfing Kamehameha, if you think about it, that would logically be something Gohan would do because he's that technical, he has that ability to, like think out of the box sometimes, and do certain things like you would think, like he would be able to like, oh, I could surf on it, like Gohan doing it. I feel like would have been way more cooler than Goku. That's just me. And doing it without being in Ultra Instinct, like he just did it like in her face, like as in his ultimate form. Like that would have been dope. Like it would have just showed more of his power, But I don't know. It's just I thought it was dope in the manga. Like I wish that somebody comes in, takes the manga and makes that actual anime, and then gives Gohan the surfing commandment. That would have been dope. But that's just my thought process. But I do think that the reason they did it, because from what I remember, I think the manga was I think they were behind in the manga process whenever they were doing the Tournament of Power anime, so they kind of had to do what their own thing and first. I think that's how that happened. I've read a lot since then, so. Alright, moving on from after that. I want to talk about the Star Wars Visions. This is going to be dope. So, any of my Star Wars fans, like Disney Plus is going to come out. It's another animated Star Wars, just like Star Wars: The Bad Batch. But this one is Star Wars Visions. This is going to. They say several studios all coming and making their own versions. Like these, they went out and talked to several different studios, and basically pitching this to them, to basically this is. I think they went overseas. These are all overseas studios. Asking them if they want to make a Star Wars story, and everybody jumped on it. Like there was a kind of like a interview process that I watched, where everybody was super excited. Like as soon as they said you wanted to make a Star Wars story, they all had their own. They already had their own stories that they've been wanting. They've been wanting to talk about. They've been wanting to make it, but they didn't have the rights to it. They couldn't do it. So whenever they were approached with it, they jumped on it. And so these are, I think it's going to be 9 animated shorts from 7 different anime studios.
Think of Black Mirror, guys. You know how Black Mirror has like the episodes are different, and they're not the first episode is about the second episode, but they just like what is it called, anthology? So it's like that, I guess.
No, from what they were saying, all these stories. Well, yeah, I guess it would be anthology, because from what they made it sound like that these are all different stories, like from throughout the universe.
Oh, okay,
like
got you.
Stories like at different points in time or something. But
that's dope.
But also seeing through some of the videos of what some of the clips, pretty much of the shorts. I can't see them being at different, all in the same universe. Different stories, because some of them look like Vader but samurai, or so it's like different stories of that. So, but Black Mirror would probably be the best. I would say that'd probably be the best correlation. I'll give you that one, because I could see that being the way they do it. Because but you're going to be able to have the voice dub cast. But also cool. You're going to be able to listen to it in the original Japanese voice cast too.
Johnny, if you are out there, which I know you are, I hope you signed up for at least one. I just want to hear Johnny in one of them. I don't know, he could be bad or good. I like his character when he when he uses that Ichigo voice, because that's where I first heard him. When he uses it, when it's good, it's like it's bad, it's like yeah. But either way, I like it. So I want it. Get on it.
I'm excited for this. I want to watch this. Like I've watched the teasers and
like 2 or 3 times,
bro. And so September 22nd on Disney Plus. Check it out. Because these stories, like the artwork in these are freaking amazing, and anime I think we've talked about this before. Like, can you imagine Star Wars as an anime? Like, Like now we're getting it. Like the way that they
like
animated.
it was one. I remember it was the Sith dude on one of the trailers, one of the teaser trailers, and they was shooting all kind of like it was like a bunch of them shooting like lasers at him. And you know, like in a regular Star Wars, they they have two like that. This dude said, "Soup just flipped it and then."
No, he wasn't like, flipping it. No, you didn't see it.
It was his. It was his force. Was it?
No, it was a bow staff that it was like a bow staff that he pushed a button and it pushed out and flipped out like multiple lightsabers and it spun around. Like he had like 10 lightsabers that popped out and like were spinning around super fast. Like on the end of his, I'm like, think about an umbrella. Like when you push the button, an umbrella pops out and it's like that. Like and it spins.
That's still insane. That's insane. Yeah.
I was like, what?
I'm excited for it.
Just the animation, like the Japanese animation, is always dope. Like the way that they draw and the way that they combine everything, like it just looks so amazing. Like no matter what it is, like no, they're the only ones that can make sports animes and an anime about cooking interesting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
like they take it one step higher over the top. So
they can make they can make an anime about Bob Vila, the handyman person, and make it just like Tim the Toolman Taylor just animated. Like
so if you guys y'all remember
just to knock in a hammer a nail, you know, like just thinking about like how much effort they would have put into like seeing the nail and like just the epicness and the hammer and nail, you know, like it take 50 million years for that hammer to come swinging down, just a nail and a nail, like,
and then like it's perfect. How do you get the perfect angle?
Like they would put everybody. They had like superpowers and stuff for screwdrivers and like it. Like they could do it. They could pull it off. Like it's just, like the
only thing live action I could think of is if you remember in Force Awakens where Kylo Ren had like it was like one of the first scenes when Kylo Ren like the dad had stopped the little he had stopped it right and he had paused it in time and walked around the dude and all that.
Yeah.
That times 10 is what anime is gonna do.
Yep.
Because because if I was thinking if I'm trying to pretend like I can think like I'm from Japan making an anime, the way that I see their thought process is America isn't using the Force completely. I'm assuming as a Force user you could do just about anything, so I'm assuming they're gonna just draw all kind of outrageous things. They're gonna probably have like trees and like probably gonna have one Force user sending out trees while flying, like poof, 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 and holding a lightsaber fighting at the same time. Something like that, because why not? If you can use the Force that way, why not use it that way?
To be fair, like I mean, you can just do more with anime. Like then you can trying to pull it off in real life.
Oh yeah.
You can just pull it. You can do more when you're animating it or drawing it, making it into a manga and stuff. You can just do more. So I'm excited. Just remember September 22nd. Go check it out. We will talk about it later after it comes out. And the final news for today. I just wanted to talk about Dragon Ball Chapter 75. So, we got everything about, I talked about it last week with some spoilers about the chapter and, Vegeta just whooping ass everywhere. He did throughout the whole chapter. I'm not going to lie. He whooped Granola's butt everywhere. But in true Vegeta style, I mean, it's not even his fault. This is literally the writers. Like it happened the same way with Moro. Like he came in with a new he had a new power, and he was able to drain Moro's power, right? Um, and got Moro down to where he had to like last ditch effort and like merged with the Earth. Even when he merged with the Earth, like he was still had a fighting chance, but in the end, like he couldn't do it. Right? He even though he had a power up and he had a new power, he got overpowered pretty much, and Goku had to step in to finish off. Same with countless others, like even Frieza. When Frieza came back, Goku dropped twice. No, he got dropped once. He was fighting, and then he got suckered. He did get suckered shot in the back, and Vegeta had to step in. Vegeta turned Super Saiyan Blue and whooped Frieza's ass everywhere. But remember, Frieza, like Vegeta got overconfident and Frieza blew up the planet, and Whis had to rewind, and then Goku stepped in. So it's a recurring thing, and everybody thought that this was gonna be Vegeta's time. Like every time something like this happens, but everybody thinks that Vegeta's gonna be the one that's finally gonna get his chance to shine, and because overall Vegeta has had the biggest character development throughout the entire show, or manga, whatever. So in the chapter, like I mean, he's fully going in on with this new transformation, which we found out he calls this transformation ultra ego. So because they started after Granola gotten kicked around, slammed around, Vegeta he wasn't dodging. The entire time he's not dodging, because the more he gets hit, he's basically milking the Zenkai boost that with more damage. He gets stronger the closer he gets to death, and more damage he takes and stuff. So he's just kind of milking it. He's just tanking it, just every hit, just to get stronger. But I could have swore somebody said prior that they were already maxed out on the. I think it was when Trunks was describing it to Mai in one of the animes or mangas, that apparently the Goku and Vegeta, I think it was when they were fighting Zamasu, that they were already at their max with the Zenkai boost. They can't get any stronger off of that. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm confusing that one with a non-canon. I don't know.
I mean, but even if that's the case, because he's been training with what's his name, the god of destruction, he should be able to that maybe that's the difference maker. Maybe because of that makes it to where he's able to gain the boost more. Maybe if that could be a theory. I'm not sure how true that is, but
so throughout he's tanking everything. He's getting hit every time Granola does get a hit in. But then they start like tearing up the city, the ruins and stuff. Granola he's just basically forgetting about the village and stuff. Like he stops caring if it gets destroyed, pretty much, I guess. But I'm trying to get to the part where he was thanking Granola for giving him like the strength or whatever, like every time he gets hit. For some reason, I don't know, I hate it when they do this. Like, they do it in every freaking thing. Except for Hunter x Hunter. I noticed that I know Hunter x Hunter did it, like they did like a narrator's voice. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like the person actually telling their powers.
Telling them, yeah.
Like it's a narrator that's talking to the audience about what their powers can do. But they always tell them their powers, like where they got their power from. Oh, this guy over here with no toe taught me how to shoot a beam, you know, or something like that, you know. Like, so he was saying that the god of there's this called, like, here we go. It says there's these beings called gods of destruction. Our universe has one, and he's the one that taught me about this power. Like, why are you telling them this? You know, like, that's, you don't quit it. And he says, so this God granted you this power? And he said, did I say that? No. This is my own power. And it's basically talking about Vegeta, like, he basically is saying that he was told about the power and he made it his own, right? And he's basically saying that because Granola had to wish for his power. He didn't work for it. And he's talking about his battle is awakened it for the first time, and this innate power within me. And then he was talking about, you mean I drew out the strength of yours? So remember that, like, because this same phrase came up at the end of this, just flipped. So Granola did the same thing to Vegeta, basically told Vegeta drew out his power. He just flipped it on him because he's stupid and talking to him about it. Stop talking, just get it over with. The battle rages on. Granola just keeps blasting at him, and he's just talking about it. Just revs him up more. He's like I said, he's just tanking every shot, and he's still going after Granola. Even made Granola put up a shield, like it was because he was getting his ass beat. So he said, "Why?" Granola starts asking him, "Why don't you dodge?" So this isn't like your ally's power that makes his body avoid danger. And he said, "You speak of Kakarot's ultra instinct." He said, "Don't you dare compare his pathetic technique to my own." And then he starts powering up again and says, Kakarot's body may have a mind of its own, but I'm all ego. In fact, go ahead and call this ultra ego. And that's where we get the name for this, which I'm kind of curious of what the anime is going to call it. Because when the anime came out and told for Ultra Instinct, they call it Autonomous Ultra Instinct or something. They had to add like an extra freaking word to it. And like, why can't you just call it Ultra Instinct? Or like whenever they came out with Super Saiyan Blue, they call it Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. You know, like some long ridiculous thing. I'm like, really? Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Like, then they finally started saying Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Red. No, that's it. But it's like god dang it. Anyway, so he goes out, you know, and he goes and busts the bubble and kicks Granola in the face, sending him flying through the rubble. And it gives a screenshot back to the old man, the Namek that lives on the planet. Some way, something, I feel like something will happen to him. I don't know. I hope not, because if something happens to him, you know, the Dragon Balls disappear. And the Heaters are getting the Dragon Balls, so I don't know what they're going to wish. Um, and then it brings back up the about Frieza. Granola said, "Aren't you? You aren't even Frieza's." He said, "You aren't even Frieza. There's no way. I'll lose. No way I'll lose to some third-rate Saiyan grunt." And Vegeta said, "I have no idea what tales you've heard, but our home planet Vegeta wasn't wiped out by some enormous meteor strike." And Granola's like, "What?" Because that's what he heard. He's confused. He said it was all Frieza's doing. He destroyed Planet Vegeta himself. And Granola's he had like a shocked look on his face. He says the Saiyan tribe is yet another pushed to the brink of extinction by Frieza. And he's like, "Is that true?" Like, so Granola is even starting to think about it, you know. And then that's when Oatmeal chimes in and he says, "Granola, that contradicts what you were told." And Granola said, "It doesn't matter. Even if you are telling the truth, it's no reason to call off my revenge against you Saiyans." And then he goes out in to attack again. And again, Vegeta's taking all the blunt hits. Vegeta said, "Believe what you want, but I speak the truth. And don't think for a second that I want your pity." And then he kicks him flying up in the sky and basically starts just just going in on him again. So at this point, Oatmeal starts trying to conversate to him, and Granola gets fed up with Oatmeal, and he takes off the headpiece and throws it away. He says that now that I'm the strongest, I don't need your support anymore. Basically, he's getting rid of Granola or Oatmeal. So that was the turning point, pretty much, of when Granola comes back. And then Vegeta remarks about his eye, because the eye patch was covering it up first. His red eye. And he says, "Is that red eye the mark of your people?" He said, "You claimed I'm not used to my power." And he said, "I did." Vegeta said, "I did. You haven't seen enough battle in your time." And then Granola said, "Then I'll have to make up for that lack of experience now against you." And Vegeta being like, "What?" You're not the only one who gets stronger the more he fights. And then Granola picks up the biggest tower with the telekinesis power he has and throws it at Vegeta, which Vegeta catches with one hand. And he rips it apart. And so now Vegeta's confused because what's this? You're willing to destroy this old city now? First Vegeta and Granola wanted to protect all of it. Now he's just literally picking up rubble left and right, throwing it at Vegeta. So then he's still tanking everything like an idiot. Now at this point, all his armor is stripped away, and he looks like the Majin Vegeta. So then it flashes to Oatmeal, basically the headpiece. He called the ship and basically beamed the eye patch back into the ship and flew the ship off. Don't know where the ship went, but it flies away. I don't know if Oatmeal is a real person or if he's just an AI that's in the so maybe we'll find out more about Oatmeal, getting tossed aside. I don't know how that's going to fill out. So they continue their rampage against each other. now they're actually landing blows back and forth. This time Vegeta he even admits he's taking too much damage. Duh, you idiot. And he said, "Let's keep this up. I can grow even stronger." So then Granola sends a blast up to him, which Vegeta actually dodged this time. And he says, "So you can dodge after all, or are you hitting your limit at last?" And Vegeta's like, "It's unwise to doubt a Saiyan's combat prowess. We live for battle." Again, just arrogance. Goes back to Goku. Goku's finally up and moving around. He's washing his face off in some river. I guess drinking some water or whatever. So now he said, "Is he for real? Where's that oomph Vegeta had earlier?" He said, "And Granola's moves are sharper than ever. Is he getting the hang of fighting?" He said, "Yikes, I can't be taking it easy on the sidelines forever." Then he does this move, which you never seen Goku do this before. But he puts his hand up over his wound, and he's basically channeling ki to try to heal, to get his body to heal. And he's like, "Come on, body, like you gotta heal for me." And he's like, is this like energy over his hand and stuff, which we always see Goku do these random ass moves or random ass abilities that he does one time and never again. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Like whenever he got,
and the question would be, where did he learn it? Yeah, I'm wanting to know.
Like he gets whenever he got the Namek for the first time and told Krillin that he don't have to say a word, and he puts his hand on his head and like got all the information about what was going on from just touching Krillin's head. It's like, "Oh, you don't gotta say nothing. I'm caught up," and then he fucking flies away. Never does it again, ever.
Nope.
There's a couple other ones too that stick out. It's like he never does. Like he did it one time. Never did it again. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know how. Maybe they'll explain that more. But as far as I know, I've never known him to be able to heal somebody, let alone himself, without a senzu bean. There is one senzu bean still left, and Vegeta has it. So, a lot of people are speculating that maybe they might end up fusing to defeat Granola. What would a fusion be of Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they both went Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, then fused?
It'd be dope. Yeah. It might. This is asking too much, and it's fair to ask too much.
Ultra Ego Instinct. I don't know.
it might teach them to learn from the other, because it seems like what the manga, at least from what I'm hearing right now, the manga is trying to tell both of them, "Hey, Goku, don't rely so much on dodging all the time. Use another technique, because as you see, your opponent has figured out that you dodge too much and he has a comeback. So do other things. Hey, Vegeta, why don't you dodge a little bit, because your opponent has figured out that you tank too much. So maybe they need to share a little bit of that from each other. Maybe that's the whole purpose of them fighting with each other. Maybe that's the whole purpose of what, we send them and trying to teach them for a minute. Like, hey, learn from each other.
It is. Like, Whis has told them I don't know how many times, and yet they still don't listen. So, it continues with the fight. Granola is blasting Vegeta, and he's still taking every freaking hit like an idiot. He blasts back. He's like, Oh, this is okay. So this is where he says my his like vision's blurring. And he said I've taken far too much damage. Like if you would have freaking dodged, you idiot! Like you wouldn't have taken that much damage. So then it smoke clears and Granola is basically using his snipe with his red eye. So he's like, so Vegeta's like, curse him, still standing and ready to fight. I'll have to end this now. And he does his last ditch move where he basically powers up a big ball, kind of like Frieza when he does his death ball. Basically, this is a big God of Destruction Hakai ball. And he said, this will destroy anything it touches. And he throws, want to protect your precious planet, then you'd better stop this yourself. And he throws it at Granola. Oh, you're a brave one. Then this will be your doom. And that's when he throws it down. And at this moment, Granola takes his hand, because at first he has it like sniped like a rifle. He takes his hand back, and his left eye turns red. So now he has double Sharingans.
That's what Michael would say.
And Vegeta is shocked because his left eye turned red, and then he has both hands out like guns, straight ahead. So now he can double snipe pretty much. And he sends a big blast basically and shoot pretty much through the beam, a big blast, and just detonates it right then and there, blows up everything, and it sends big shockwaves everywhere. Goku felt it, everybody felt it everywhere, like it's just massive explosion. So then, as the smoke clears, Vegeta's laying on his ass. He's like, damn it, how did he? And then so he's all confused. As Granola just slowly does his walk up. And this is where it comes back. I have to thank you, Saiyan. You're responsible for drawing out this power of mine. Like the tables are turned right back on him. So then it switches to the heaters. And he's like, basically, oil and gas, they have arrived back. Oh no, oil's the fat one that's still out in the field. They're trying to get a hold of him to figure out what the explosion was. He told him he's in one piece. It's just the Granola's fighting back. So then Elec said, I'm impressed. And I was sure Granola would lose this fight soon, but I guess the battle's still undecided. So even though Vegeta is on his ass right now, it's like even Elec feels that it's still continuing. So just like we saw it before with the Moro arc, we thought Vegeta was out, and then he pops right back up like an instant. So he could, because he did learn some techniques when he went back, and he learned the power to separate energy. Like there was the teacher said that there was a way to be able to heal yourself back without having to take the sensu beans and stuff like that. So just by using energy, and that's an advanced move. So there's no telling that Vegeta might have learned it just on his own. Now that because he knew that there was, and he's seen it. And usually Vegeta, just by seeing something, he can do it. He did see it once.
Maybe that's where Goku got it from. Also, he probably never used it this whole time.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, because from what they were saying, that Goku if Vegeta was there longer or mastered it
Way
faster,
longer, yeah.
then because Goku was in a rush or something. So anyway, they so they're hoping that they wear each other down, and he said just as they planned, they'll wipe out each other. So then Gas comes in. He says all's good with this device too, and he's holding the Dragon Radar. We're about to reach the first location, so they're out collecting the 2 Dragon Balls, and he says so those so-called Dragon Balls that can grant any wish. So I'm curious what they're gonna wish for, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna. I'm still wondering. I don't know why. I still have a feeling that this might be how they bring BoJack into the fold. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Because the Heaters just feel like a BoJack character, BoJack race. Because ever since they came on the scene, all I've thought about was BoJack. And BoJack Unbound. Like, what if I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just speculating about everything right now. But anyway, I mean, that's all I have. What did y'all think about everything I said today? Like, you had any comments about it? Nope. Anything? How do you feel about it?
For me, I think.
Message anything?
I want to know what happened now. I think it was dope. I think that it, like I said before, I think the manga is really trying to push to, hey, Vegeta, listen, you need to dodge more. Goku, you need to, not dodge. And I am wondering why he didn't use the power separation thing. I wonder maybe he's holding back something, or
apparently, like, he can only do that on the power, like, that's not supposed to be there. Like, power that's not their own. Like, he said at one point that he could defuse Piccolo from, like, Kami, but I don't think that's true. He could probably defuse him from Nail.
Yeah.
But not Kami, because technically Piccolo and Kami are the same person. So that was just the original. But he used it on Moro because Moro was able to steal power from other people. So he's basically taking the power that was not originally Moro's and take it away from him. So anything like that, he could take. So all the power that all the power that Granola has is his power.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe because he wished it, maybe it's not necessarily his, but the wish enhanced it. But could he take away a wish?
Enhanced. It's not enhanced. It's his power. The wish took all the years he had left and all the power that he would have gained if he lived out his life till that point, just now. So, like, if they say, for instance, you made the wish and you can only live to 100, you pretty much lived to 100, but you made the wish to be the strongest now, and from now to 100, you have, like, maybe you'll have
that power.
You have 3 years left to live now, but from the all the power that you would have gained if you just kept living to 100, take all that and just put it down here and basically give it to you now instead of then. That's what happened with Granola. Instead of, because he lives for 500 years or so, but they took all that power and put it to him now, and basically maxed it out. Pretty much like if he would have trained or whatever, the maximum amount of power he would have had. At least that's what the wishes basically portrayed. So I don't know. But anyway, that's all I got. If anybody watching, if you liked anything I've talked about tonight, remember to comment below about what you liked or what your thoughts are about any of it. That way I can get back with you and communicate and get some conversations going. If you want to jump in with me on one of these Fridays and talk about some nerd out on some anime or mangas or cartoons or comics or anything like that, let me know. I'll get you in here. Speaking of, we have somebody jumping in on Monday about some wrestling. It's going to happen on Sunday, so he'll give us a review on Monday.
This isn't wrestling; it's more like.
So we were just talking about it on one of our last shows. Like, what do you nerd out about? What's your nerd? What do you nerd about? And apparently, that's what he nerds about. That's his nerd out, wrestling. So. Anyway.
And we know somebody else who kind of does too. Maybe he'll be watching that day. I don't know.
You talking about the Barker?
Barker.
Or
yeah,
just
that
Cole?
guy.
I actually tried to get him on. Tried to call him to get him on for this episode to talk about Star Wars, but he didn't answer. So anyway,
that guy.
That's our show. Remember to go to YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Comment. That's all. I can't say anymore. And like and share all of it. I can keep saying it over and over again. But that's the only way we're gonna grow and keep get better. So, well, we'll catch you all on the next show, which is be Monday. So. And I'll see y'all on Friday for mine.
Are you still live?
Hey, if you like cookies.
Okay, bye.